Namaste, Jai Bharat. There is a saying from Bible, take the sword and you shall be by the sword. Not exactly this, I have just brought the content here. Pakistan, I always say that Pakistan uses terrorism as the fourth estate. In their Pakistani administration, there are different echelons of administrations who don't cooperate one another. They don't coexist. They have problems among themselves. They contradict. The first echelon is officially the democratic setup, which of course is completely important, not highly, completely important. They have no say in the happenings of things. Then the Maulavis, the religious authorities, they do have certain say. They influence all others. Then, of course, explicitly, the army, which really runs things in Pakistan. For in their entire history, the army had been running Pakistan, and the army attitude, army mental makeup, especially over the time, is so designed to highly self-centeredness. Then 1, 2, 3 over. Fourth, the terrorists. There are several established terrorist outfits. They also determine the affairs of Pakistan with their own interests. Terrorist outfits and terrorism training camps and terrorism itself had become an inseparable, integrated existence of Pakistani existence. So without terrorism they can't do anything, because they function, they work one another in tandem, at tandem. And our problem with Pakistan is this: their terrorism is primarily, or rather completely, against Bharat, because they cannot do anything in Bharat. And the administration of Pakistan today, it's Asim Munir. He desperately wants some kind of blasts in Bharat, some kinds of terrorist attacks in Bharat. He considers that as an attack on Bharat which suits his imagination. And this is a common attitude of majority Pakistanis. When terrorist attacks, he is comfortable, he is happy with that. Now, these terrorists who were thriving within, they have to develop differences, because you see that dialectics of Hegel, which of course is taken by Marx. So now, what the variety of dialectics that you get in front of us is a kind of mixture of Marxian dialectics and Hegelian dialectics. Nonetheless, a thesis would internally function to develop an antithesis, and then the antithesis will be exactly opposite to the thesis, and they contradict, and from the contradictions develop a synthesis of evolution, synthesis of something better. So this system of a synthesis is taking place in Pakistan now. Actually, that synthesis of course can't be in case of Pakistan. The antithesis, the terrorism as a phenomenon in Pakistan, becomes antithetical to Pakistani military. They will develop contradictions, and they themselves started challenging Asim Munir. The spark was Abraham Accord. Asim Munir is completely coerced by external matters to agree to Abraham Accord, which they can't. Their hands will be cut if they do. And the terrorist explicitly threatens Munir of annihilation. We'll destroy, we'll kill you if you do that. So the terrorists who are not fundamentally disciplined, they don't belong to anybody, they don't belong to anything, they don't belong to any system, they don't belong to any theories. They just want to destroy, because for them they are doing jihad, and jihad is a shortcut to their entrance to heaven with 72 hoods and wine flowing rivers. Otherwise, to get into heaven, one has to laboriously do all kinds of religious ritualistic practices. But here, jihad is a shortcut. If you do jihad, then you're at once getting into heaven. Such faith would enable them to actively participate in jihad and die. That's why they make the die in their profession. So the terrorists are now becoming antithetical to Pakistani existence. The four estates in Pakistan: democracy, which is non-sequitur, army, Maulavis, and terrorism are contradicting oneself, and this would lead to the destruction of the very existence of Pakistan, if at all you call them as a nation. We shall see what's going to be in future. It may take time, but we shall see it. We shall meet again. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.